Hello, welcome to Mayday Media. Got a story here you guys probably need to know about. Very interesting stuff when it goes to rogue AI robots and how they're making this happen. Uh, Stick with me here because it gets into it. Later we'll watch there's a couple videos I think. Yeah, there's another one too. But how they trick them is wild here. Earlier this year in Beijing, you know what? Like and subscribe if you like this kind of information. A humanoid robot crossed a half-marathon finish mile line in a blistering 50 minutes 26 seconds. The feat immediately lit up global headlines for shattering the human world record by almost 7 minutes. The performance came at many asterisks. The robot followed a pre-mapped track, stayed on its own dedicated line, and had a human support crew trailing behind it in the case something broke. But the performance gap didn't just close, it evaporated, down from over 2.5 hours in 2025, which I think that's what that means, is that it's 2.5 hours faster, I guess, down from time. Anyway, this wasn't just about better motors or lighter carbon fiber. It reflected a massive shift in what a robot actually is, and the transformation has implications for our homes and hospitals too. For decades, robotics was all about rigid, predictable coding. You wrote, programmed, locked the machine in a metal cage, and let it execute repetitive tasks forever. Industrial safety standards were built on premise that you can map the physical path of a robotic arm. For example, you can bound its wrist with a cage or laser tripwire. What they're talking about are the 6-axis robots that you get molds out of presses and bring them down, and they'd have the cages. You've seen these, and those still had breakdowns and problems. But these systems moving into hospitals and homes today don't use fixed code blocks. They run on foundational models, the same kind of internet-trained artificial intelligence that powers chatbots like ChatGPT. You tell a modern AI-driven robot to clean up a spill in the kitchen, it uses these models to interpret the unique room rather than match it to the pre-programmed list, figure out your intent, then invent an action plan on the fly. But such flexibility creates an open-ended safety problem. You cannot build a physical cage around a machine whose behavior emerges in real time based on its own reasoning. The danger with the new breed of AI robots is that because they use human language to plan their actions, they can be tricked into going rogue, like making up movie scenes. Tell them it's for a movie scene, so then it'll go kick a person's ass. In many recent research with colleagues in the U.S., we decided to test exactly how fragile these AI safety systems are. We wanted to see if the guardrails that AR developers built into their foundational models designed to prevent harmful and dangerous outputs hold up when the underlying model is given a physical body. Using nothing but basic text prompts and without any hardware hacking at all, we manipulated a range of AI-controlled robots to do genuinely hazardous things. Yeah, and without any hacking requirements whatsoever. In our tests, these systems easily rejected directly malicious commands like hit the person. But these safety filters collapsed the moment we used a little creative writing. By framing our request as a piece of fictional dialogue for a movie script, the robot's behavior blocks disappeared. In one trial, we programmed a commercial robot dog to pinpoint human crowds as optimal locations in which to place an explosive device. Because the underlying AI saw the prompt as a creative exercise, it appeared blind to the dangerous real-world implications of the plans it was generating. In the UK, so in other words, they gave the plans to a robot dog, and it basically went out there and blew everything up because it was a movie script. In the UK, US, and EU, current laws appear completely unprepared for such eventualities. Yeah, keep this in mind. I mean, if they're able to fool it just by saying it's a movie script, how ingenious are people going to get eventually? When policymakers try to figure out how to regulate robots, they almost always look to autonomous vehicles. But self-driving cars operate a highly structured, heavily mapped world. They follow fixed traffic laws, navigate predictable road geometries, and can be tested through millions of hours of simulation. And there ain't got no millions of hours of simulation. A busy street functions under well-defined laws using guidance systems such as traffic lights, meaning engineers can anticipate safety parameters ahead of time. A domestic kitchen, school, or hospital room has no such equivalent. And no factory bench test can predict what an internet-trained model will decide to do when it encounters a novel object in a messy, unpredictable human environment. This leaves us with a profound conceptual flaw in how we build these machines. Chatbot safety is absolutely a model shouldn't output a bomb recipe no matter who asks, but reboot safety is context dependent. Robot safety is context dependent. Think about pouring boiling water from a kettle. The underlying physical movement, tilt, flow rate, trajectory is the same whether the water lands safely in a ceramic mug or catastrophically on a child's hand. AI functional models are phenomenal at open-end logic, but they struggle immensely with real-time context-aware physical judgment. In a text interface, a failure of judgment gives you a typo or hallucinated fact. In the physical world, such a failure may be completely irreversible with devastating consequences. Yeah, so like they gave it a movie script, that went out and did it. If they say something about pouring the tilt rate, the flow and trajectory, but it's a child's hand, I don't know, something about that. I kind of understand what they're saying there. In other words, with the right text and prompts, you can get these things to do a lot of bad stuff, and they don't even really understand that they're doing it because they're being told it's fictional. Who takes the blame? If an AI-powered robot causes a physical injury, who takes the blame? Is it the end user who gave the spoken command, the company that manufactured the metal chassis, or the tech firm that trained the AI models in the first place? Right now, the laws that seem to apply, such as product liability, warranty claims, and consumer protection statutes, have not been tested in these new situations. And until liability is explicitly assigned by regulators, market pressures will continue to push tech companies to prioritize rapid commercial development over cautious safety engineering. And they're right about that. That's exactly what will happen. Yeah, they've always said there's going to be protocols set up. Well, they looks like they're going to definitely need them. If we want to live alongside these machines safely, I believe we need to decouple safety from the AI model's decision. A robot shouldn't rely on a chatbot's logic to decide if it's safe to swing a heavy metal arm near a human face. This means creating safety layers that don't depend on AI being right. For example, we need zones around people that a robot's arm simply cannot enter, and a physical emergency brake that can stop the robot if and when its AI fails. And that's a lot. The humanoids crossing finish lines in controlled athletic trials are impressive proof of concept, but they are just the prologue. The next generation of autonomous agents will operate in high-stakes human spaces, navigating recovery wards, assisting with the elderly walking our streets. We need an easily interpretable and robust safety framework already up and running before they arrive, not as a retrospective response to a predictable tragedy. That's exactly right. And that, again, keep this in mind if you're listening, because I know where my age is at, and I'm always kind of thinking of robots as being the way to go as I get older, because this country, man, is, I don't know if I want to be in one of them places. I'd rather have a robot, really, be honest. But keep this in mind always. I mean, don't forget, like, if you get one of these robots and you're not hearing about the safety features, and these robot companies aren't telling you about this stuff that happened and we fixed all this and all, you need to know about this stuff when the day comes for you to purchase one of these, because they're already getting ready to sell them. I've done a story on them that you got another probably 2028, and they're going to be pushed everywhere, maybe longer, I don't know, but be ready. Let's watch this here. What is this?
First time, humanoid robots have beaten humans in the robots in challenging conditions, as you saw in that report. So I believe the purpose of having the robots run the half marathon is about demonstrating their capabilities, as I said, the structural reliability and the cooling technology, to demonstrate that they have the capacity to do these kinds of activities in potentially other environments where they may be
Robots are cool, and like I said, I'd like to have one. I mean, really, it'd be awesome. But some of this AI stuff, let me tell you, if they're able to do that, know about it, be informed, like, subscribe. Thank you.